Hello guys, Nigel here with you, Nigel's Modelling Bench, and welcome back to the channel. Yes, I've still got a stinking cold, you could probably hear it in my voice, so if I keep pausing the video, you'll know why. It's for a cough or a sneeze or something. So today is Tuesday the 30th of May 2023, and FedEx have just left my front door, driven off in his van, and he left behind this. This is the, oops, it's upside down. This is the brand new Hong Kong Models A-20G Havoc over Europe, and this is Hong Kong Model's latest release, and boy is it a beauty. I first saw this on Metro Hobbies. I know that Peter over at Art Scale Kit has done the mask set for it, so he's had a clear sprue to play with for a while now. He actually sent me some photographs from a show where he saw it, and it looks absolutely stunning. Then I saw it on Metro Hobbies here on YouTube, the Australian shop. They've reviewed it. They've done a few. They've even started building one, I think. Well, I don't think, I know he started building one. And yeah, it looks to be absolutely like out there. It looks like Hong Kong Models have bought a Border Models Lancaster and said to the design team, "This is what you need to do, guys." And it looks like that's what they've done. It looks stunning. So yeah, let's have a look in the box. We'll get it on the bench, and we'll look around the box, we'll look at the artwork and stuff, and then we'll have a look at the plastic inside. We'll go through the instructions, we'll go through the decals, and then at the end of the video there will be some lovely close-up photos of all the plastic parts that you can ponder over and listen to a bit of music. So stick around and let's see what we think of this together. I haven't looked inside the box yet, so when I open the box on camera, it'll be the first time I've seen it. So let's enjoy it together. Right, let's get to the bench. Okay, so here we are. Here we have the massive box on the bench, and as you can see, it's very big. I could move the camera away to get the box in, but then you'll have all the surrounding stuff on my bench as well. So there you go. You can see 1/32 scale. The kit number is 01E039. It's got a wingspan of 587.7 millimeters, a length of 457 millimeters, and 554 parts. And this is the special edition. This is actually a sticker. It's not printed on like Takom have done with their Apaches. This is actually a sticker. So special edition, nose weight included. According to the guy over at, I forgot your name, sorry. According to the guy over at Metro Hobbies, one of the concerns was getting weight in the nose. So Hong Kong Models have made specifically shaped pieces of metal that fit in the nose. So this is the special edition, and apparently this is limited to 2,000 units, I think. Is something I think Metro Hobbies said. But the artwork on here is absolutely stunning. It is beautiful. If you look closely, you can see all the chipping and everything. You can see the stressed skin. You can see the pilot in there. Really, really nice artwork. Very, very nicely done indeed. So looking around the box, we've got CAD images on the side. I'd rather see images of the real thing, but CAD images it is. It's showing you what's in there. So you've got all the nose gun detail in there. We've got the cockpit detail and the bomb bay detail. And then going into the back, we've got all the detail in the back here and the rear, the turret. We've got full engine detail, full undercarriage bay detail, and you can see more detail in there. So some words you can freeze and read there, all about the model. And then going over the page, over the side of the box, we have 3 versions. Now these are all 3 versions of the same aircraft. So this is serial number 439224, 670th Bomber Squadron, 416th Bomber Group, Wethersfield, UK, 20th of June 1944. And then here you can see it's the same serial number, and this is the A55 Melon Villaroche, I guess that's how you say it, France, 5th of October 1944. And then here we go again, the same serial number, and this is the 416th Bomber Group, Paris, France, 4th of November 1944. So you can see we've got June, October and November 44, and you can see here that we've got the full stripes, and then here we've got the upper stripes painted over on these two here. So that's the difference. So let's have a look in the box for the first time. So we'll lift the lid off the box here and we'll have a look inside. And as I say, this is the first time I've looked in here. And Yeah, packaging looks to be pretty good. We've got a separated box here, which has got all the sprues there separated from these sprues over here, so they can't all knock around and slide on top of each other, which often happens. The sprues get slid on top of each other and then they get crushed. This box was actually a little bit crushed when it came, as you can see here and here, but it's absolutely fine, looks to be undamaged. And then you've got the fuselage halves here in a cutout so they can't slide around or whatever. So yeah, packaging much better than the Lancaster. Well done, HK Models. And on the end here you can see we've got this separate bag, and this has got the specially shaped nose weights in it. Just take that off of there. Let's have a look. So that's got, they've thoughtfully put them in there, look, separate, so if they do come loose they're not going to rattle around and ruin your parts. So they are cast, and they are beautifully done. And I'll tell you what we'll do, for those of you that may not get the kit with the nose weights in it, let's see how heavy these are. They are 90 grams, so there you go. So now you know, if you get one without the nose weights, 90 grams is what you need. But they are specially shaped to fit into the nose area. I'm guessing alongside the nose gear bay. That's what I'm guessing. So there we go. So that's our nose weights. So we have some clear parts here on the top. They've got this, the typical Hong Kong models, lovely way they protect them. You can see you've got the clear film stuck on there to stop them getting scratched. Something I will say for Hong Kong models, their clear parts are always amazingly clear and beautifully moulded. Very, very nice indeed. We've got fuselage halves here. We've got wing sections. We've got engine sprues there. At the bottom here we've got decals. We've got photo etch. Instructions. There's a poster. We'll leave that till the end, but I won't put that in in case I damage it. There's a poster which is basically of the box art, so that's going to be well worth having because the box art is beautiful. And then here we've got engine nacelles, we've got some air intakes there, and we've got wheels, undercarriage, Bombay parts, lots and lots of stuff there. So let's get the camera sorted out and have a look at these instructions, decals and PD parts. Right, so typical of Hong Kong models here, we have this massive, this is bigger than A4 sized manual for construction, and it's beautifully printed, slightly glossy paper, which is a shame for reviews, but it's nice quality wise, and that beautiful colour image on there again, which is gorgeous. Down here we have some history about the aircraft, so I can hold this up to the camera, you can freeze frame and have a little read if you want about some history. Very, very popular aircraft, this one. Nearly 7,500 built and used by many air forces. So yeah, symbology here, which I just read the word I read here. Please check symbology on the left. I've never heard the word symbology before. This is basically the legend that's going to tell you whether to drill a hole or do not cement or whatever. Fill hole, be careful. Marking options and stuff like that. So make sure you memorize those. I would recommend having a good look through the manual, just to sort of check that you're familiar with everything. There may be certain bits that you think, well, I'm going to leave that out until I do this bit there, and you know, you can make little notes in there, whatever. But it's a lovely manual. As always with HK models, their instruction manuals are very nice, and you've got these 3D sort of CAD images of it all going together. So we're starting off obviously with the cockpit. So you've got the cockpit bulkhead going on there. We've got some handles and bits and pieces going in here. We've got the seat with the harness going in. We've got the control column with the wheel on there, which is very nice. Instrument panel, rudder pedals, instrument panels there. And we've got this little construction here being built up with an oxygen tank and some bits and pieces. Not quite sure if any of that's going to be seen. We shall see later on in the manual. And that's going on the back of the instrument, on the back of the bulkhead there. And then we've got this, probably this armour plate that goes on the top here with the support behind it going in. So that's going to make up the cockpit. Remember, this is only a single, it's like a Spitfire or a, you know, or a Hurricane. It's just one single pilot seat. It's not like a double seat bomber like a B-25 or anything. Saying that, I did have a look actually. The B-25 kit from Hong Kong models, which was their first one, and in my opinion their best one, they don't appear to have used any of the sprues from that kit in here. They could have quite easily used engines and bombs and stuff, and they haven't. So it's all new, this kit. So yeah, so that's the cockpit going together there, and we've got a decal for the instrument panel, which we'll have a look at in a second, and we'll see the actual instrument panel itself when we look at the sprues in a minute. So building up the nose wheel here, we've got the oleo going on there, we've got the support going on the back, big return spring there for the undercarriage retraction system, I'm guessing, and then we're building up the actual nose wheel bay here. I don't quite know why we've got the cockpit shown. Oh, the cockpit's attaching to the nose bay floor, that's why. And this is for undercarriage up, and this is for undercarriage down. Now it looks like we're having to fit the nose wheel here, and that's a shame if that's the case. What it might be advisory to do, if we can, I think it would be worth fitting this and this into the nose wheel, but not gluing this joint here, and then we can probably pivot the wheel up in, tape it, and we can fold that one back or up, fold this one up, tape them in, and then the wheel will be out of the way and it won't get damaged while we're building the rest of the model. So that's something we'll look at when we build it. I will be building this starting like this week, so keep your eyes peeled for that one. So we built up the nose gear bay. As I say, I think we can probably put that together with that folded up in. Then here we're on to this unusual build sequence, straight into the main turret. This is the turret that's going on the spine of the aircraft. Lots and lots of detail going in here. We've got little photo etch chain wheels for the ammo belt. It looks like we have no ammo belts, which is absolutely fine, because on the ground it probably wouldn't have had ammo in it. But there we go. And then we've got the breeches for our guns going in there. Separate barrels, which is a nice touch, so you can easily add metal barrels if you wish. They're just going to be ordinary 50 cals, I believe. And then we've got a seat there for the yes, that's a seat there for the gunner, and he's got a couple of cylinders there going on the side. We've got something going on the bottom of the seat there. Check your references. It's got all the colour callouts here. You can see this triangle O, M, E, and all this. This is all the colour callouts which refer to the back of the manual here, and you can see we've got AK Interactive, Mr. Hobby, and Tamiya called out, which is really nice. So all the different colours there going in, and then we're going to add our clear top to the turret, and then add the barrels. You may wish to add the barrels at the end of the build to save them getting damaged. Then moving over the page here, assembling the bombs. This is unusual. I can see we've got plastic spinners for the bombs, but I noticed we also had them on the photo etch sheet. So if you use these, you'll then have the photo etch ones to use on your Border Models Lancaster, because Border Models didn't give you any of the photo etch spinners for the bombs, which Wingnut Wings would have done. And then we've got the bomb racks there, so you're going to make 2 of those. So we've got 4 bombs going in there. I think this could carry 4,000 pounds, so I think it could probably carry 8 bombs. Maybe there's only 4 depicted here. I'm not sure. I'm speaking off the top of my head. I'll have to do some research. And then building up the bomb bay here with its bulkheads. We've got the bomb bay floors going in here. Very, very nicely detailed indeed. And that's all going together, adding the side, adding on the bulkheads fore and aft. We've got a fire extinguisher or cylinder of some sort there. And then building up this piece that goes on the top of the bomb bay. So we've got the bomb bay roof. We've got the dinghy there. We've got some stiffener sections in there, which is very nice indeed. And then we've got all this gear here, which you can paint up if you want to. But unless you cut the top of the fuselage open, I don't think you're going to see any of it. So you may be able to see it when you look down through the open top. We shall see. Here we've got some greeblies going on the inside of the fuselage there for the cockpit. We've got some more going in there. And then we've got the nose weights going in. So that weight there's 44 grams, and that weight there's 44 grams. I weighed them earlier, they were 90 grams, so hey. And then we've got the, as I say, more detail going in here into the rear fuselage. Again, I'm not sure if any of this is going to be seen, but it's there for you to build if you want to. And then going into the port side of the fuselage, we've got some control levers here, we've got some more control levers here. Again, that nose weight, we've got a clear little window going in there, and then some stiffeners going in. And we've got a little control panel going in there to sit next to the instrument panel. And then we've got this bulkhead assembly going into the back here. Again, I don't think you're going to see any of it, but it's all in there should you want to open anything up. So that's a nice touch. Then it looks like we have an open panel there. So maybe you can see up through there if you have the door open. Maybe there's a hatch that the tail gunner the turret gunner gets in. Maybe that's why it's there. So thoughtful of them if it is the case. And then we've got a floor going in there. We've got the machine going into the belly. Didn't know they had a machine gun in the belly. Not sure who operated that, but probably the turret gunner. And then we've got the cockpit going in here with the nose wheel attached, bomb bay going in, all going into the fuselage, putting the turret ring in, bringing the fuselage halves together. So that's your fuselage pretty much done. Building up the tail feathers there. So we've got the rudder, we've got the elevators, tail planes all going together there. And then here we've got the, I'm assuming this is the pilot's access through the top. So you can have this door here, you've got an internal stiffener panel there going in, so you can paint all that up and have that open should you wish, and then you'll be able to see down in there to that radio gear, and you've got the dinghy there and everything as well. So all very nice. We've got a glass panel there, so you're going to be able to see down through there, so that's probably why all this detail is in here. We've got the turret going in, separate piece there for the fin. That looks like it's going to be lending itself to another version, maybe with a glass back on it or something, I'm not sure. And then we've got the tail feathers going on. Building up our main canopy. Nice to see we've got separate sliding panels going in the side, so you can model them slid open if you want to, which is a nice touch. And then we're on to our nose. So we've got our nose going, oh sorry, we've got a gun sight there going on. We're adding the canopy there, so I missed that gun sight. So we're building up the nose now, which is just crammed full of ammo boxes, weaponry, guns, cannons, whatever they are. Just mega loads of it in there. So we've got ammo belts, we've got bits and pieces, ammo boxes, more ammo boxes, more ammo boxes and guns, all going in their cradles there. So very nice indeed. Lots and lots of detail and lots of openable hatches, so you can see it all in there. And then building the nose up, adding the hatches and everything, adding the nose section to it, telling us what colour to paint everything. It all looks like zinc chromate to me. I would have thought the cockpit would be interior green, not zinc chromate. I think they're telling us to paint it. Yeah, they are telling us to paint it in zinc chromate, so we'll have to check our references there. And then we're adding the nose onto the cockpit, onto the fuselage, with the bulkhead in between, and then we've got some armoured plate panels going on the sides. And those armoured plate panels are carrying on into the nose gear door, which is all nice. And then we've got our formation lights going in here, identification lights, whatever you want to call them. And then we've got the bomb bay hinges there with the supports keeping the doors open. You can have the doors closed should you wish. So there we go. And then we've got a door there which we can have open, so that's going to be an access door for the turret gunner. Then we're building up our engines. Again, as I say, this is not all taken straight off the B-25 tooling. This is all new tooling, and very nice it is too. So we've got the choice of having the cowl gills closed or open, so you can have them all opened up there or closed. A very nice touch. I'm not sure if they would have been open or closed on the ground. I'm sure somebody can tell us in the comments below. And then we've got push rod tubing, we've got intake tubing there, and then we've got all separate rocker covers, which is nice. They'll look lovely. And then we've got more intake tubing going on there. And then coming over the page, we're here. We've got the exhaust stacks being built up, lots and lots of different tubes, all sticking out of different holes. Looking very nice. We can get the end of those drilled out, get them all nice and thin down, paint them black, they'll look stunning. Here we're starting to build up the nacelles and our undercarriage bays. So we've got the intakes here being built up. Notice we've got photo etch grills going in there and little photo etch plate. So that's going to look absolutely lovely. You can see it in, where did I see it? There. You can see it there. There's a little photo etch plate inside. So that's going to look lovely and all nicely to scale rather than a big chunky piece of plastic. And then we've got the 4.5 firewalls for our wheel bay. And then we've got some sort of cylinder there. And then a stiffener there going along the bottom edge. And then the undercarriage bays all coming together. Building up our wings. So we're going to build up the wing here and then add the nacelle to it. And then we're going to build up our landing gear, which is, sorry, I missed that. Completely missed that. Building up the main landing gear here, which all looks very complex. But looking at the Metro Hobbies website, it does look to be fairly strong. It's going to be very difficult to copy white metal. Not white metal, but white metal undercarriage isn't very good at all. But the brass, which is like aircraft does, it's going to be a lot of work to copy that. So I'm thinking this is probably going to be strong enough. Adding the undercarriage and then adding in our wheels. So we've got the choice here of wheels up, doors closed, wheels down, doors open. Nice to see that on this one HK have given us a proper landing light with a lens rather than just the moulded on circle like we got with the Lancaster. So Nice touch there. And then we're going to add our ailerons and our flaps and everything in there, and then the firewall, and then plonk the engine on the front with our prop. You see the prop is made up of 5 parts, very nicely detailed by the look of it as well, and we've got our air intake going on the top. So all very nice indeed. And then we're going to do it all again for the other side. So there's all the other side all going together. And then we're going to bring our wings onto the fuselage. Again, we've got that push on pull back system for the wings, locking them on. And then we've got some greeblies going on here. And there we have a picture of the actual finished built model, but without the canopy for some reason. And then here we've got our sprue callouts. So you can see we've got our main fuselage sections, we've got our wing sections there. We've got our bomb bay and tailplanes. Lots and lots of interior parts here, engine nacelles, there's the nose section, photo etch parts, which we'll look at in a minute, clear parts, engine parts, and our decals. And then we've got our colour callouts, which are very nicely done, nice and big and cold and bold in colour. So we've got mislaid, this is June 44, we've got all the stripes top and bottom, which looks lovely, that's the version I'll do. And then we've got, over the page, we've got October 44, still mislaid, but now we've lost the upper stripes. We've got a couple of little differences going around. And then we have the final one, which is November 44. Again, same aircraft, painted out stripes on the top, but now mislaid has been painted over, and it's La France Libre. So we've got French and American flags on there. And you can see that if you look closely, you can see under there that mislaid and the actual painting has been blacked out. They actually give you that in a decal sheet, which we'll look at in a second. Something unusual I've never seen before is this green and olive drab camouflage. Never seen that. So you learn something every day, don't you? And as I say, on the back we've got the colour callouts. It's nice to see. I mean, a lot of people have sort of sold their soul to a paint company like MIG Ammo or AK Interactive, and also the only callout they give you is that. But it's nice to see the HK have carried on with Mr. Hobby and Tammy as well. So thank you for that. So there we go. So let's have a look at the decals and the photo etch. I've got the decals out of their packet here. They are very, very nice, and the most important thing to see on here at the bottom there, you can read those words. It says printed by Cartograph. So they're going to be lovely. So we've got an instrument panel there, which is very, very nice indeed. It's one piece, so that's going to have to go down with some setting solutions. And as I said here, we've got the mislaid here, and then we've got mislaid blacked out here. So you could just, if you're going to do this one, the La France Libre, you just put them on. And if you're going to do any of the other two, you use the white mislaid and the mislaid there. Walkway markings, propeller markings, stars and bars, all very nice indeed. No doubt there will be aftermarket decals for this, and no doubt One Man Army will do a stencil set for it as well. But all very nice indeed, and as I say, they are Cartographs, so they're going to be gorgeous. And then here we have our photo etch fret, and you can see on here we've got those air intakes there, which are nice. We've got the actual seat belts there, which look lovely. That looks like maybe seat belts there for the turret gunner, and then we've got the fins for the bomb there, for the bombs. You can see, so as I say, you can use the plastic ones and then use these on your border models Lanks if you want to. So yeah, very, very nice little photo etch sheet, wrapped in plastic on both sides, very, very thin as well. So all good. First thing I want to do is look at the clear parts, and then I can turn the camera off and put them away, excuse me. So, as usual, Hong Kong models, extremely clear, very, very nice, very beautifully done. If I put it on top of the decal sheet, you can see on here how clear everything is and how everything's not distorted. We've got this beautiful film on here, which Hong Kong models always add to protect the parts. So, yeah, as we all know, with all the Hong Kong model kits, their clear parts are some of the best. They really are up there at the top. Very, very nice, very clear. No scratches, no imperfections, nothing. And again, they go to the trouble of putting on these protective coverings to keep everything nice and clear. I mean, just look at how nice that turret is. Absolutely gorgeous. A little bit better than the border models Lancaster, one may say. But, yeah. But there we go, so that's all looking lovely. So I'm going to turn the camera off a sec, get the decals and the clear parts put away, and then we'll have a look at some grey plastic. Okay, so got everything unbagged, so you have to listen to me rattling the bags. So here we have the first sprue that I've picked up. This is sprue A. Obviously it's a Fuselage halves, you don't need to be told that. If you do, then you probably should be looking at a simpler kit. So basically, this is absolutely gorgeous. Now if you remember I said earlier, I think Hong Kong models have just gone way up, certainly in my estimation. It looks like their design team has really gone out and made some big changes. You can see on here the riveting is very subtle. It's all recessed, it's not raised. There is some raised riveting in the kit, I've noticed by when I was unbagging that, but all of this is recessed, but it's very subtle. It's not like the B-17 where it was all extremely deep. This is very subtle riveting, and you can also see on here we've got the stress skin. I want to just take the opportunity to say sorry about my fingernails. They're disgusting. I bite them. I can't stop it. I can't help it. So I apologise. But you can see there the stress skin underneath that wing. It just looks absolutely gorgeous. And it's so subtle. It's really nice. A lot of people think the Borders model Lancaster is over the top. I personally don't. But this will make those people happy because this is very subtle indeed. It's quite difficult to even show you it where it's so subtle, but it's definitely there, and it's all over the model, it's everywhere, and it's very consistent as well. Inside we have all the cockpit sidewall detail here. We have a couple of ejector pin marks, but I'm not sure if any of it's going to be seen. I think they've probably put them in places where they're going to be hidden. And as I say, don't forget, this is a very narrow aircraft. It's a single seat. It's just like a P-47 or something. It's a single seat, and I don't know how much of the cockpit you're going to see, but without a doubt the aftermarket will jump all over this. There'll be cockpits and Edward photo etch and all sorts for it. So I'm not sure how much will be seen, but when I build it you'll be able to see how much of it's going to be seen, because this will be built out of the box. But we got all the detail in there, all the ribbing and everything, so if you have that hatch open you can look up in there and see all that. So very nice indeed. Very nice. Very nice. Again, we've got some ejector pin marks to deal with, but they are very subtle. They're nothing like those things you had in the floor of the Bombay and the Lancaster. These are tiny, absolutely tiny. They probably wouldn't even notice. So anyway, there we go. So that's that. Need to stack these sprues somewhere where they don't all fall over. So we'll go through these as they come out of the box. So here is our engine sprue. You get two of these. This is sprue L. You get two of these, and this is our Bombay, our bomb racks by the look of it. And we've got our bombs there, obviously. Got the tails for the bombs there. We've got our open cowl flaps there. These are going on the top of the intakes by the look of it. That's some sort of sway brace or something there, some sort of actuator for a door, I'm not sure. Maybe for the nose gear. And then we've got the actual spinner there, looking very nicely detailed, very crisp. Lovely bit of moulding on that. As I say, there will be photographs at the end. And then we've got all our exhausts there, which are all slide moulded. They've got hollow ends on them, you can see there. They've got the hollow ends, which is a nice touch. All separate rocker covers, so the engines are going to look great if you want to try and open up your cowls and have them on display. And then we've got all the intake tubing there, intake pipes. That's the intake pipes for another row of cylinders, and we've got another lot of exhaust there for the other row of cylinders. This is an R2600, same as in the B25, but not stolen the tooling from the B25. So yeah, very nice indeed. You can see we've got raised rivet detail on there, I think. Oh no, it's not raised, it's recessed. And you've got the skin effect there on the firewall. So all beautifully done. Very nice indeed. Lovely. And then here we've got the wings. Again, you get two of these, obviously, one for each side. And again, we've got this beautiful stress skin. We have all the access panels for the fuel tanks and stuff underneath. There's the landing light with a bulb moulded in, which is nice. Very nicely done indeed. Wingtips there, they're in two halves. And then we've got flaps there, the other part of the flaps there, ailerons here, Again, stress skin on all of them. And if you look on here, you can see the stress skin on there and how subtle it is. It's really, really nice. And then all that detail on the lower wing. Beautifully done. I also noticed these massive assembly pins here. It's all going to be very, very strong when it goes together. So it's not, the other thing that's nice about this, it's a World War II bomber, but it's not very big. As you can see, it's not huge. It's not like the size of a Lancaster or something. You can imagine when we've got the fuselage in between, you know, it's like the size of an A2 cutting mat. It's the width of an A2 cutting mat. It's not overly big. It's probably similar in size to the B25, but beautiful, beautiful skin. I wish they'd redo the B25 with skin like this and riveting the same, because you can see the riveting is not your normal HK deep indentations. It's very, very subtle. Very subtle indeed. So there we go. I may have to stop the camera now. I can hear a child screaming outside. I'm sure a lot of you don't want to hear that. Here we have the air intakes. These are going to sit on top of the engines. Again, they're slide molded. And they've got the intake there, which is beautifully shaped. And then you've got all the lovely panel lining and rivet detail on the top. You can see there. Really, really nicely done. And then here we've got our engine nacelles. So you've got both sides there, you've got the intakes there, and remember we've got those lovely little photo etch grills and everything to go in there. You can see there's the intake there with the recesses for the photo etch parts. Some sort of cylinder here, some fire extinguisher or something. Some tiny, tiny little parts down there. I'm not sure what they are. Absolutely tiny. Tiny little parts. Some boxes there. Again, we've got all the parts. I think this is going to be parts for the intakes. And then we've got our gear doors there. So we've got gear doors. Okay, that's nice. We've got gear doors and gear door internals. So the internals are nicely done and they have no ejector pin marks on them. There is an ejector pin mark in the middle of that circle there that you can see. But it's very, very subtle. So yeah, very nice. And there's an ejector pin mark in that one there as well. So a little bit of work just to get rid of them, but I'm not sure if these should be opened up. Maybe they should be drilled through, because maybe they were holes, dimpled holes, you know, radius flanged holes. We'll have to check our references if they were. It'd be easy just to drill them out and then thin them out. But I'll cover that in the build when I build it. So all very nice, and you can see on there the stress skin is carried onto those flaps there and onto the engine, the cells, and everywhere. It's just everywhere. It's really subtle. Even on the doors, we've got the stress skin effect on the doors. Look, see it there. Very, very nice. So, if you've got the Hobby Boss A-20G, yeah, what a mess that kit is. But that looked lovely stood next to this. If you correct it all, or you just build it out of the box and it looked fine. But that kit is a bit of a mess, isn't it? So we have nose section here, which is very, very nice indeed. Again, stress skin. You can see all the beautiful fine rivet detail on there. This is obviously going to be a sprue particular to this kit. There is a K model coming with a glass nose, so that'll obviously have a different sprue. That's something I do know that's coming, so we'll look forward to that one. We've got some ammo belts here. Again, you can see you've got all these doors. You can have all this open and show all the guns off inside. So you could close one side up, have all the other side open, and then you can display the model any way you want to. We've got ammo boxes here, as you can see. We've got parts of the internal structure there. We have bulkheads here with the mountings for our guns. The actual nose itself. It's going to sit on the front of there, obviously. And then we've got all our gun barrels here. I'm assuming these are all just 50 cals, so we can use master barrels for them. Just generic master barrels for a B24, B17, Lancaster, not Lancaster, B25, any of your barrels. I'm sure Master will come up with a set of barrels for this kit. So I think they're all 50 cals. Looking at them, they all look like 50 cals, don't they? Anyway, very, very nicely done. You can see we've got internal detail in there as well. So, all very nice. Some ejector pin marks, but nothing too much. We've got some ejector pin marks on these doors here, but again, they're on raised areas. They're easy to sand out. And again in here, same again. So yeah, lovely. Moving on, engine cowls. So engine cowl, I'm not sure about the shape or anything of them. I'm not sure about accuracy. A lot of kit manufacturers tend to get the shape of the engine cowls wrong, but I got a feeling HK did the B25 absolutely fine, wasn't it? But, I know the A-20G from Hobby Boss, they, oh dear. So there's the engine cowl, and you can see they're slide molded. So we've got all the lovely rivet and fastener detail on there as well. It's difficult to show you on this colour plastic. You can see it there. I'll try and get it in a shadow if I can. Very nicely done. And then you've got your cowling flaps there. You've got the choice of having them closed as they are here, or having them open with the separate parts. Have them open, they look great. And no doubt Edward will come up with all the internal detail for that as well. So if you want to get one of these and hang on for the aftermarket, I'm sure they'll be all over it. And then here we've got another sprue which is dedicated to this model. So this is going to be the eye sprue, and this is the turret, as you can see. So we've got the actual main turret base there. We've got the gun breeches, the barrels, and then all sorts of bits and pieces of the turret itself. We've got the seat there. A couple of ejector pin marks in there to go. But I'm not sure how much of this you're actually going to see when it's all down in there. But it is all nice and crisply molded. No flash, no real big seam lines or anything. Very, very nice indeed. Here we have our main gear wheels and undercarriage legs. So this is something I don't like. I'm not knocking HK at all, but I don't like the American planes when they put these wheel covers on them. I think they look awful. I'd rather see an open wheel like that, like a big hubcap. I don't like them. I just personally don't like them. But anyway, you've got the main gear here, and it all looks pretty strong. I've seen it on Metro Hobbies, as I say, when it's all together, it looks to be very, very strong. I guess you'd have that piece there made in brass and use the rest in plastic, I don't know. But whatever. So there we go. You can see the detail on there. It's really, really nice. Really crisp. No massive seam lines. No mould mismatch. All lovely. Just what you'd expect from a brand new kit. Here we have, this is going to be a lot of our internals now, so this is going to be cockpit. So we've got the pilot's seat there, which is gorgeous, with, yes, it's got raised rivet detail on there. So dry brushing that with aluminium and getting all those rivets to pop would be really, really nice. There's a plate that goes across the back of there. It's going to be on this sprue. Where is it? There it is. So I think those holes should be opened up, and that'll look better with them opened up. There's that big return spring for the nose gear leg there, and then we've got a random machine gun on its own. We've got these support bars there that go in the front gear. We've got the front gear there, which is slide molded, so you get the hollow end on the axle shaft. Got gear doors there. Unfortunately, they've got ejector pin marks in the back of them. There shouldn't be too much to get rid of them. They're in a flat area with no bolts or rivets around them. But as you can see, all this cockpit detail here is moulding is gorgeous, really crisp, really nice. They've really gone to town on this. I think this is, looking at it on the sprues, I think this is by far their best kit so far. Long may it continue. So here we've got more cockpit, bomb bay. We've got the instrument panel there. There's no dial detail, but you saw on the decal sheet we have got decals, but they are beautifully recessed, so you can get the decals in there and then get some gloss varnish in there. We've got the dinghy there. We've got that part of the floor there, I think, for the dinghy area. And then we've got the nose gear bay, which is beautifully detailed. Again, raised rivet detail in there, which is nice. Raised rivet detail on the cockpit floor, so again, dry brushing heaven. We've got the nose gear there, nose wheel, No tyre lettering, but we have got it flat spotted, or weight on wheels should I say. And then here we've got our radio gear and boxes and stuff, and then various bulkheads for the rear there. So all very nicely done. We have got ejector pin marks on these. We'll have to see when it comes to time to build it which are going to be visible and which aren't. As they say, lovely. And the last but one sprue here, this is our Bombay, and yes, beautifully done this is. Again, all raised rivet detail. We've got all these plunged holes here which are all radiused. I'll give you a close-up shot in a minute. And then we've got this stiffener for the crew access hatch, which is lovely, really nice. That's the floor for the rear fuselage. Some sort of ammo box is that there by the look of it. And then we've got our tail piece there, and you can see the stress skin is carried onto there. But yeah, that's beautifully done. There are some ejector pin marks in the Bombay roof, but they're going to get hidden when you glue the sides on, so that's good. And there's some ejector pin marks on there, but I'm assuming they're going to be on the back side, so all good. Some lovely detail on there. You can see that detail on the bulkhead. Very, very nice indeed. As I say, this is just leaps and bounds above the other kits. And the detail on there, as you can see, all moulded on, very, very much like the Wingnut Wings Lancaster, with everything moulded in. It's so easy just to paint it all and pick up all the detail. I'm not sure you're going to see a lot of this anyway, because when you've got the bombs in there, you know, you're not going to be able to see up in there, but it's all the fun of the building, isn't it? And then finally, this last sprue is the tail feathers. So we have the tail planes here. Was that the fin? That's the fin, isn't it? That's the fin with the rudder. And then we have tail planes here with our elevators there. So they are beautifully done. I'm not sure if they're fabric. I think they're fabric looking at these. I'll have to do some research, but yeah, I think they're fabric. But certainly the stress skin on there is beautifully done, and we got all the little. That's what makes you think they're fabric. They got these panels on them, like you see on fabric covered surfaces. These raised panels. You can see them on the rudder as well. So yeah, they look to be fabric to me. Very, very nicely done. And then we've got our Bombay doors there. Just looking, yes, we do have some ejector pin marks now. We've got some raised rivet detail on there to sand around. So yeah, there's only 2 ejector pin marks in each one, so much better than models of the past. So there we go. So yeah, beautiful stress skin effect on there. You can see all there. Very, very nicely done. So that has been the brand new Hong Kong models A-20G Havoc over Europe, and what a leap forward this is. I really am pleased that this is beautiful. Really am impressed with this. This kit is currently not available, not yet. It was due, I think it was, they were hoping it was going to be around about now, end of May, that it was going to be about. But according to Peter over at ASK, there have been some issues with the carriage. So it could be that it's not going to be around until about July. So keep your eyes peeled. If you want to get some aftermarket for it, Art Scale Kit have already done a masking set for it. So you can get the internal and external sets for it. So you can get those already. I've got those and I'll be using them on this build. And basically, yeah, it's beautiful. I want a massive thank you to HK Models for sending me this. Thank you, Neil. I hope you've liked the review I've done, and I hope I've done the kit proud. And as I say, I will be starting a build of this as soon as the Apache's finished, which should be this week. So, yeah, over the moon. Really, really nice. And when I build it, I'll be doing that version there with all the stripes and everything on it. And we'll have a go at doing a bit of chipping and a bit of weathering and see what we can make it look like that one on there, as Peter's done. So, as I say, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all soon. as I say, we'll be starting the build of this very, very shortly. So if you want to watch that, hit the subscribe, hit the notifications bell, and you'll get notified when I put more videos out. And boy, believe me, I put a lot of videos out. So thank you for watching, guys. Bye for now.